Does this 2004 Toyota Tundra have a parasitic draw, or is it just a bad battery? Well, hang in there and let's find out. Hey, what's up YouTube? Dan the Fix-It Man. Got another quick video here for you. Looks like I've got another Tundra here with a parasitic draw. The owner's complaining that every time they go out to start the car, it's dead and needs to be jump started. They've tried charging it, they've tried testing the battery, it just keeps on dying. Now what's happening is this truck is just sitting for a couple days and then nothing. It's completely dead. We don't even have the radio or anything turning on. So let's check our voltage real quick, see where we're at. You know, I picked up this new voltmeter. I like it because it's a nice big screen. It's a lot easier to read for me. And I've been using that old one for many, many years. Figured it was time for an upgrade. 2 volts, that's it. This battery is completely dead. Now, before we set up for the parasitic draw test, we need to fully charge the battery. I could jump start this and put a lot of strain on the alternator, but I don't want to do that. I really just want to get a nice solid charge in that battery. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up on the charger and then we'll come back and do that test. Now you might have already seen the review that I did on this Topdon TB6000 Pro. It's a battery charger and tester. We will test the battery once it's fully charged. I just wanted to hook it up here and see if this also gives the same voltage reading. Yeah, we're not even getting anything at all. That battery is just too dead to even light up this charger and tester. So let's get that plugged in, we'll get this charging, and then we'll come back and do the parasitic draw test. All right. Okay, I'm just gonna do screen record here just for kicks. All right, so we're gonna set this up, AGM spiral. This is called cranking amps, 910, and let's just hit the normal charging mode and start charging. Now it's doing a battery pre-test. I don't know that it will. Yeah, failed to start charging. Please check and try again. It's probably because it's just so darn low. Let's try that again. Just wiggle these clamps, make sure that those are on there solid. Okay, we got a good connection. Let's try that again. Let's just hit start charging. Failed to start charging. I think our battery is just too darn low to start charging with this. So that might be a drawback to this charger. Again, I did a review on this and I do like it. I have used it a few times, but I haven't used it on something that's this dead. Okay, there, we got it to start. What I did is I just hit the manual double click. So we did not get the battery pre-test, probably because it was too dead. I'm gonna let this sit overnight and then we'll come back tomorrow or the next day, make sure that this battery's fully charged and see what we can do to find that parasitic draw and find out why this battery keeps on dying. All right, so we've had this thing on the charger overnight and you know, it hasn't changed from 25% here on the Topdon smart charger. I just want to see what kind of voltage we have right now. Yeah, we only have 8.3 volts. So we're not fully charged, or we might have an issue with this battery. I don't know where they got this battery tested, but they were told that the battery's good. And I'm starting to think maybe that's not the case. Let's hook the charger back up. You can see that's showing 8.1 volts. Let's go down to testing options and do a battery test. This may not be charged enough. That's saying voltage is too low. Charge your battery first to have an accurate test result. Okay. Let's do that then. So let's go back into smart charging and we'll do 12 volt normal and start charging. Now it's doing a battery pre-test. You can see the voltage though has already dropped quite a bit. Now this is saying that we have a bad battery. Let me double check the connections here. Make sure that that's fighting down good. Let's try that again. Smart charging, battery pre-testing. Oh, this is just showing a bad battery again. I really do think we have a bad battery. Let's go ahead and start the truck and we'll test the alternator. We'll rule out an issue with that. And I'm just gonna put the NOCO boost on here. That's this little jump pack. And you can see that right away is picking up the battery. The lights are chasing. So it's putting some juice into that battery. We'll just wait a few seconds here and then we'll go ahead and start it up. can see the alternator is working fine, putting out about 14 volts. Charging system in the truck seems to be working fine, and alternator's not screaming or anything, so we'll let this run for a minute. All right, so I'm just sitting here, just kind of letting this run for a minute. But while sitting here, I noticed that our little cargo lamp light was on, and of course our dome light's on. Now, I had the door closed. Right now I just opened it, but I'm gonna go ahead and close it again. And look right there, cargo lamp and the dome light are both on with the door closed, but it's also showing that the door is open. Let me just try that again. If I close it really hard, cargo lamp goes off, dome light goes off. We might just have a little issue with that little door button. But this is, you can see that that's closed. Cargo lamp button is lit up, and so is the dome light. That's definitely enough to kill a battery. Yeah, we might just have an issue with our button here. The button, it looks like it's working. If I push in on that, it's going off. So I think the button's working, but we might have an issue with the door alignment. Let's take a look. Yeah, see there, you can see that that's obviously not closed. Sometimes these gaskets get pulled off. That looks all right. Definitely doesn't close easily the way it should. Might just need to lube this up a little bit with something to get that to close properly. I think that's probably our issue, but we'll still get a good battery in here and perform the parasitic draw test just to make sure. Of course, when we do the parasitic draw test, we'll push this in. But for right now, we just don't have a good enough battery to do that test. All right, so we're back here on the 2004 Toyota Tundra, trying to determine if we've got a parasitic battery draw or if this was just a dead battery. Tried charging it, wouldn't take a charge, so we've got a new Optima battery in here. They ended up replacing that under warranty, which is great. But let's take a look here real quick before we start this test. And we've got 12.34. So we've got a fully charged battery and we're ready to do a parasitic draw test. So let's get set up for that. First thing we need to do is disconnect the negative or the ground off of our battery here. All right, I'm gonna hook up these little clamps to my meter here. We're gonna get this set to milliamps, and then we need to change this here and put it in this one. You can see this meter's pretty cool. It actually highlights where to put the lead. But before I hook this up to the battery, I need to make sure that we either close the door, or in our case, I'm gonna go ahead and put a clamp on here. This is a suggestion from my buddy, KP. He actually saw my other parasitic train video and said, why didn't you use a clamp instead of disconnecting this? So I disconnected this switch in that other Tundra parasitic draw that we were looking at and testing for, and in this case we're going to use this clamp here. And so now when we hook up the battery through the meter, we're not going to get this light coming on. Anything that turns on is going to be running through those cables and through that meter. So it's really important that you make sure everything is turned off, make sure the lights are off, and you don't turn anything on. But we do need to keep the door open so that we can pull fuses one at a time and see what kind of a draw we have. First of all, if we don't have a high draw, we're not even going to bother with the fuses. We'll just know that that was a bad battery. And we do know that we do have a little bit of an issue maybe with this door latch over here. This might be pretty sticky, and I brought some stuff that we can put in there and try to fix that as well. It's just helpful to have these clips because then you can bring the meter up to the dash if you need to. And then we just need to connect one to the battery post and one to the cable here. And this will hopefully tell us what kind of a draw we have or what kind of current is going through there. 123 milliamps. Looks like it's dropping still here, so we'll just make sure that this goes to sleep completely. Takes a minute or two for this to go to sleep. We're settled in here right around 85. It's jumping a little bit, 85, 87, up to 90 milliamps. But according to the Tundra Solutions Forum, anything 50 milliamps and under is considered normal on this truck. A parasitic draw above this threshold is considered excessive. So what we'll do is we'll get inside and we'll pull fuses one at a time and see if we can change this meter, get that to drop, and see if we can figure out if there is indeed a circuit that's drawing too much power. Now that's the nice thing about those extended leads. I was able to bring the multimeter here inside the truck, right here underneath the fuse panel. We can just pull that cover, and then we just got to go through and pull one fuse at a time. And then here's our little diagram of what fuse goes where, but I'm just going to start at one side and go up. There, no change. No change. No, no, no there, no there, no there, no there. This will take a few minutes, but I still think this is one of the easiest ways to figure this out. Oh, there's a huge drop right there. And I think I just found our issue here. So this 7.5 amp fuse has eliminated that draw, and I also just spotted our problem. Now you would think that I would actually learn to look for the same thing if I've seen it once before, and in this case I guess I just didn't learn. But let me show you what I just spotted after looking at the panel here. If you look right over here, look at what we have plugged in here. A little code reader. This is nice and warm. This has been drawing power on this and drawing this down. I'll let the owner know that he just left his little code reader in there. Well, that is definitely the issue here. You know, you'd think that that would be the first thing I would look for, because that's something that I have done. I did the exact same thing. I left one of these in a different vehicle and killed the battery. So I definitely, you know, I should have known to at least check there. You know, at least it's an easy place to look. Now with this out, I'm going to pop that fuse back in and we'll see what that does. Fuse back in, moving around 30 or so, but that's well within range. I'll talk to the owner, find out if he remembers how long ago he put this in or how long he's had that issue. But let's get this button back up. In this case, we did have a bad battery and a parasitic draw, but this is a quick and easy way to find that parasitic drain. This truck did sit for a very long time, and that's probably what killed the battery. That, with a combination of this parasitic draw and or maybe, you know, the door being propped open a little bit or killing that with the dome light. You know, after so many times, that will kill even a very good battery. Let's take this off and reconnect our cable and put everything back together. This is pretty much done, but I'm going to try to grease up the latch and the hinge there on the door, see if we can get that to close better so that that doesn't cause a future parasitic drain on this vehicle as well. I didn't want to take the clamp off until I disconnected that meter, because remember, all that power would be running through the meter. See, it's not closing unless you really slam it or give it a good push. It looks like it's aligned still very well, but I think we just have either a stiff latch here or some issues with the hinge. So what I want to do is spray some of this on it. This is the Blaster white lithium grease, and this is great for auto hinges and latches. Lots of other things that this is good for as well. Blaster is a sponsor of mine, and they did send this product to me, so I just thought this would be a very good application for this. So we're just going to spray the latch and the hinge and see if we can get this to close a lot better. And we'll just kind of work that in a little bit, back and forth on those hinges. Yeah, I can tell that definitely was pretty stiff, but it feels like it's loosening up a little bit. Oh, that's way better. Way better. Well, thanks again to Blaster for sending me some product. Looks like it's going to help and make that door close much easier. But you saw the culprit there. We definitely had a bad battery and a parasitic draw that had probably killed that battery. But either way, we got it solved, got it figured out. Vehicle's good to go and shouldn't give them any more issues. I hope you liked the video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you don't mind. That does help me out. I'll get a link in the description to some of the products and tools I used in the video as well. Thanks so much for watching, and good luck.